All right, good morning. Well, it's morning when I'm creating this. Let's see, Team Drag. You guys were the first to sign up for a team. You're the first to post your work. And generally, you've all been pretty awesome students this entire school year. Molly and Abby and Destiny, Mackenzie, and Savannah. And I'll be seeing you soon so I can expand on my thoughts a little more as well. If you'd like, when I visit you, it's going to be on Wednesday. But I just finished watching your collaborative multimodal project, and I thought I would just kind of talk about it a little bit. You create a video, I create a video. I feel like that makes sense. So lots to like here. Lots of good information and material, and I can see all your different ideas sort of coalescing around this Snapchat idea. So what did I like best? What I liked best was the use of primary research, being able to, create, charts and, ways to like sort of datify your findings. That's always interesting. And it has a very sort of 2018 kind of feel to it for that reason, because, we all are, when there is a lot of data being shared in a document, our minds naturally start to look for ways to visually sort of commodify it, and that definitely happened here with your pie charts and the distillation of your material. I thought it was interesting that you gave a what social media do you use quiz and or poll on the different social medias. Uh, I feel like you could have maybe unpacked those just a little bit more about well, of course most people are going to say that they use Facebook the most because you're giving the quiz on Facebook, that sort of thing. And so that didn't the findings I guess didn't shock me, but I feel like there was some potential there that maybe we could have gotten into just a little more. Um, what else? Let's see. I liked whichever one of you hit the mailbox with their car. I'm glad you're okay. That kind of made my heart drop for a second when I saw that. And I thought that visualization and the talking around it was one of the, I don't know, more engaging elements of this CMP. And overall, I thought there was a lot to recommend this argument that you made. Let's talk about the things that I feel could have been better utilized. Let's say. Uh, let's talk. I want to talk about the format or the style, and I also want to talk about the substance. So, substantially speaking, in terms of the argument that you make and the way that argument is sort of supported, I don't know. I feel like you could have swapped out any social media for Snapchat. There wasn't a whole lot of discussion of like what makes Snapchat unique. I mean, there's some of it, but not nearly enough that in a way that informs your argument. I feel like I could have put in Facebook or Twitter, or even Instagram. And still, I think your argument would have been fundamentally unchanged as a result. And that's kind of rhetorically problematic in terms of, me, I always want things to be sort of narrow and focused. So I was worried about that a little bit. And I was also worried about this idea of like distraction. And again, distraction comes in many forms, especially, behind the wheel of a car. And so, changing the radio is a distraction. Making sure that your kids are not killing each other, at least when I'm driving. That's a distraction. So I feel like the tech angle wasn't as deeply uncovered as it maybe could have been. Like what is insatiable about Snapchat? What makes Snapchat so particular that leads to a particular type of distraction, if that makes sense? So I was a little bit concerned, that didn't, that wasn't, that I didn't feel like that was totally resolved by the time I was finished with your video. And let's talk about the format itself as well. Now there's plenty to be said for, basically what you guys did was created a script and then you made a screencast that read that script word for word. So when we talk about multimodality, there needs to be sort of multiple levels of engagement. I was hoping that would be a little clearer to you all that it's important to, how do I put this? That, you as your viewer, I'm expecting in a multimodal composition to be engaged sort of visually and also in text and also audio wise. And there was really no sort of soundtrack or, bedding underneath your screencast. And, reading exactly what is on the screen. I specifically warned against that in my screencast assignment about just creating a text and then reading from that text. That's not an effective way, I don't think, of teaching, and it doesn't lead to profound realizations, let's say. And so basically what we got here is a very interesting argument presented in not the most engaging way possible, because I could have skimmed. I read your script. I skimmed it. I kind of knew where everything was coming because, well, the words are there, and I know you're just going to be speaking those words. So there's a few times where you kind of went off script and kind of came to life. I thought that was nice. That sort of brought a little more vitality to it. I think that I'll be interested. I have not read your reflections yet. I do the grades for the big assignment, and then I read the reflections. So once I understand how this product came together, maybe that's a function of having such a big team. I don't know. If I sort of squint just right, that's kind of what I would suggest. That's what's been suggested to me would be one of the issues where you have so many people working on in so many different sides and corners of the sandbox, whatever the terrible metaphor is I'm going for. Sometimes that happens as well. So in future multimodal assignments, if you find yourself doing this sort of thing again, I would warn against just creating a text and then reading from that text verbatim, because you're giving your reader plenty of ways to be distracted, to think, to not be totally engaged in what is ultimately very exciting material. So I'm not going to enter grades in for a while yet until I get everything graded, but I feel like this is a solid B. There's your B for me. So thank you for your hard work. It was very evident that a lot of care went into, especially the preparation of primary research, and I'm very grateful for that. So thanks, and I really look forward to seeing you guys. So thanks again, and hope you're having a great day.